Hey everyone, Pastor George here with our Theolog for today, and I'm going to be continuing my conversation ongoing about my political ramblings. And today, I actually am kind of doing a primer for this week's sermon because I'm going to start talking about political things or politics in general, Christianity's response and failure to respond in many ways to politics this Sunday. Um, and one of the things that I want to talk about is just how we have been able to separate our faith from our lives. And what do I mean by that? Well, I mean, I think for many people, and I think myself included in this, is that we kind of have two modes, right? We have the Sunday mode and the Christian mode, which is when we're in church, when we are doing stuff with church, we act a different way or certain way. And then when we're outside of that, we kind of separate our Christian faith from it. And I'm not talking about like doing sinful things, although that's part of it as well. But we just, when we're in church, we think about church things, and when we're outside of it, we don't. And I think that this has really done a disservice for a lot of people. And this isn't something that's recent. I mean, I guess in terms of history, it kind of is. But I think America has tried to get people to think of this because America is a child of the Enlightenment, right? So it wants people to separate their religious life from their civil life outside of that, right? So if you talk about religion in places with people who aren't expecting it, it's seen as a very strange thing, right? A lot of people really turns them off big time. And I think that's a really bad thing. It's because it shows that the church was very willing to recede from the culture and kind of just let every other institution kind of take over. And this has had pretty disastrous consequences, I think. And I think this is why we're seeing the mistrust of organized religion in general, but also why people aren't interested in it because they don't think it's relevant to anyone's life. They just see it as something that grandma and grandfather did back in the day, and that it doesn't really affect anyone. And I think that what we need to show people is that it is. It's something that we carry. It does affect you. It's something you carry throughout your week, 24/7, right? Uh, Speaking about politics, we are very quick to line ourselves up with ideologies, right? Especially those of us who are really into politics, right? I have friends and acquaintances, and obviously there are people out there in the world who, when asked to identify themselves, especially when it comes to what they think about morally and intellectually, they'll just say, oh, I'm a Republican, or I'm a Democrat, or oh, I'm a communist, or a capitalist, or something like that, right? Where they're really into these definitions. And I think what that shows is it shows that the church should be pushing people, and I'm going to challenge all of you and myself to do this, is to see ourselves primarily, first and foremost in all aspects of our lives, both in church and outside of church, as Christians, right? And what that allows us to do is it allows us to take our lives and use it as a witness, right? And it allows us to inform all those other aspects of our lives, which are important, right? I'm not going to tell you that politics isn't important, or that thinking about markets or whatever isn't important. It is, but it's not as important as our relationship with God. And the way we feel about those things should be impacted by our faith, not the other way around, right? I think many people on both sides of the aisle have taken their politics and exchanged it for their faith. And that's what we're going to talk about this Sunday. So I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be a good sermon. I'm excited to get feedback from you guys, and I'm excited to just be able to worship with you guys again, because it's been way too long from my perspective. So I look forward to it. I hope you guys have a wonderful Thursday, and I will see you tomorrow for the last Theolog this week. Peace out.